Today you'll learn 5 simple yet incredibly powerful exercises to speak English 10 times better. And these exercises will only take you 10 minutes a day. If you do these exercises every day, you will see results in only 1 week. And if you're consistent, you'll see amazing results in only 90 days. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. Number 1, understand the rhythm of words. What's this? Easy, right? But say it out loud. It's not a banana, da da da, banana. Because that's not the rhythm of English. The English language is a stressed language. This means that not all syllables are said equally, da da da. No. Some syllables are stressed, which means you'll hear them louder and longer. Other syllables are unstressed, which means they're quicker and quieter. Every word in English that's 2 or more syllables has stressed and unstressed sounds. Let's come back to this image. Which syllable is the stressed syllable? Say it out loud. Think about which one is louder and longer. The correct way to say this is banana, banana. So which syllable is the stressed syllable? Banana, da-da-da. The middle syllable is the stressed syllable. It's the one you hear the loudest and longest. That also means that the unstressed syllables need to be quicker and quieter. So instead of ba, it sounds like b because it's unstressed. It's the unstressed schwa sound. As a tip, when you're learning new words, make sure you learn the correct pronunciation and identify the syllable stress. The dictionary tells you which syllable is stressed by putting a mark. It looks like an apostrophe in front of the stressed syllable. Now, keeping this concept in mind, do you know who this man is? Do you recognize him? Just say his first name, if you know it, and say it aloud. His first name is... I'm using this man as an example because he has a TV show where he travels around the world and competes against local chefs. Now, most of the time, he's in non-English speaking countries, but the show is in English and all the local chefs have a very high proficiency of English. However, every non-native chef that I've seen on the show pronounces his name wrong because they pronounce it as da-da, Gordon, Gordon, da-da. But that's not how you say his name. But of course, he's polite and he never corrects the local chefs. His name is Dada, Gordon, Dada, Gordon, Gordon. Because the first syllable is stressed, gore, so the second syllable becomes that unstressed vowel sound, din, din, Gordon, dada. Again, your dictionary is your best friend for learning correct pronunciation. Here's the phonetic spelling. You can see that the syllable stress is on the first syllable, and that upside down E is the schwa, which means it's an unstressed sound, din, din, Gordon. Repeat after me, Gordon. Dada, Gordon. Now, if you ever meet this celebrity chef, you know how to say his name correctly. For your exercise, spend 1 to 2 minutes reading any article and identify the syllable stress in each word. You can confirm if you're correct by looking in the dictionary. Number 2, understand the rhythm of sentences. Just like words have their own rhythm, so do sentences. In English, content words are stressed, which means they're louder and longer. Content words are nouns, main verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Function words are unstressed, which means they're quieter and quicker. Function words are articles, prepositions, auxiliary verbs, and conjunctions. This is also why native speakers may sound fast to you, or why you may struggle to hear all the words in a sentence. It's because not all words are said equally, only the words you need to understand the meaning, the content words. Let's take this sentence. Which words are the content words? Which words will you say louder and longer? They went to the restaurant by the beach. The content words are went, restaurant, beach. These are the words that you'll hear louder and longer. Because if you only heard those three words, you would understand the meaning. Now remember, you still need to have the correct word stress. So this word, restaurant, is more than 2 syllables. So there will be a stressed sound and an unstressed sound. Dada, restaurant, restaurant. Let's try this exercise again with a new sentence. Here's the sentence. Which words are the stressed words, the content words, the ones you'll hear louder and longer? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. The dog is running with a ball. The dog is running with the ball. The content words are dog, running, ball. These are the words that you'll hear louder and longer. Again, if you only heard those 3 words, you would understand the meaning, right? There is only one word that's more than 2 syllables, so you have to think about word stress for the word running. Dada, running. If you master this rhythm of English, you will absolutely speak 10 times better. For your exercise, spend 1 to 2 minutes reading any article and identify the content words and the function words. Focus on one sentence at a time. As a tip, you can combine exercise 1 and 2 together. You can read a sentence and identify the syllable stress of each word that's more than 2 syllables, and you can identify the stressed and unstressed words in the sentence. Number 3, open your mouth wider. This is a very simple way to instantly be more easily understood. And you can certainly do this in your native language as well. You just learned that certain words are said quicker and quieter because you don't need to hear them. That's true. And that's how English is spoken in both casual and professional situations. However, a big reason why students aren't understood is because they're not pronouncing the sounds fully. They don't open their mouths wide enough to fully produce the sound. This is called mumbling. And it's a problem with many kids in their native language, well, at least in English. And kids learn to open their mouths wider as they develop their speaking skills. Adults mumble too, but it's usually when they lack confidence. Imagine you're trying to speak with your mouth full of food. In this case, it's impossible to fully produce the sounds because the food will fall out of your mouth. I'm sure someone has tried to talk to you with their mouth full of food and you can't easily understand them. And this could be in your native language. The solution is simple. Open your mouth wider when you speak. The sounds will be said fully, and your volume will naturally increase, which means you'll say it louder, and your rate of speech will decrease because it takes longer to say the words. But speaking slower will make it easier for you to be understood. Let's see the effect of mumbling. I'm going to say a simple sentence and I'm going to mumble. I want you to notice how my volume is quieter, my speech is faster, and it's more difficult to understand the sounds. Focus on my mouth. Maybe we should postpone the project until tomorrow. I'll say it again. Maybe we should postpone the project until tomorrow. So, was it more difficult to understand me? Imagine you didn't have the writing on the screen. Now I'll say it again and I'll open my mouth wider than I normally would. Maybe we should postpone the project until tomorrow. Maybe we should postpone the project until tomorrow. Notice how some sounds were still louder and longer than others. So doing this exercise doesn't mean you say each sound equally loud and long, because that isn't how the English language is spoken. You still need to remember points 1 and 2 as you do this exercise. For this exercise, read the same sentence you have from exercise 1 and 2 and say it aloud and open your mouth wider than normal. As a tip, when you're practicing pronunciation, it's so important to hear your voice. Record yourself on your phone and listen to it. This feels strange, but trust me, doing this will help you get comfortable with your voice in English, and it will help you identify areas of improvement. You will learn so much by listening to your own voice. I highly recommend it. Now you have 3 exercises that you can do at the same time, and they'll take you about 4 to 6 minutes to complete. Let's keep going with number 4, exaggerate your sounds. For this point, you'll choose sounds that you know you need to improve. Either your teacher has given you feedback, or you just feel awkward and uncomfortable with certain sounds. Maybe it's the R sound, or maybe it's the long E sound. You're going to say that specific sound a lot longer than it should be. This is an exercise that you will only practice on your own or in a classroom environment. You will not speak this way in the real world because it isn't natural. This is only a practice exercise, but trust me, it works and you'll get amazing results very quickly. Let's use R as an example because many students struggle with this sound. And let's say you said the word street in a meeting and nobody understood you. So you know that this sound needs improvement. This word is street. There's no syllable stress because it's only one syllable. In a sentence, it would be stressed because it's a content word. It's a noun. Now let's practice exaggerating that R sound. Street. That's how you exaggerate it. How long can you hold the sound? Now, forcing your mouth to stay in that position longer, you are strengthening the muscle needed to produce that sound. And your brain is going to get comfortable with the position of that sound, the mouth feeling of that sound. Let's do this together. Let's say the word street, but hold that R as long as you can. But remember, when you're holding the R, you'll still complete the word by vocalizing the remaining sounds. Are you ready? Can you hold it longer than I can? Let's say it now. Street. I could keep going for another 30 seconds or longer, but that would be boring for you. Remember, this is not how you would say the word in the real world. That would be weird. This is how you practice certain sounds that you need to improve. For your exercise, identify one sound you need to improve and practice exaggerating that sound in different words. Do this for 1 to 2 minutes per day. A very important note on this exercise: not all sounds in English can be exaggerated because some sounds are very quick and it's impossible to hold them out. That takes us to number 5, mirror practice. You can do this exercise for sounds that cannot be exaggerated, but you can and should do this exercise for all sounds. The goal of this exercise is for you to get comfortable with what your mouth looks like when you say a certain sound. That's why it's called mirror practice, because you'll do this in front of a mirror. Now you can also use your phone because you can see the image of yourself on your phone. And that's ideal because you can record yourself and then listen back, which is one of my recommendations. So consider your phone the best mirror you have. Let's take a sound that can't be held out in English, like the J sound. Now remember I shared that all the non-native speakers I heard on the show pronounce Gordon's name incorrectly because of syllable stress. Many students pronounce my name incorrectly because of the length of the J sound. The sound that represents the letter J in English is very fast. You cannot hold out the sound, which means you cannot do exercise 4 with the sound J. But you can see what your mouth looks like when you produce the sound. This will help you recognize when you're not pronouncing it correctly. Your goal is to get comfortable with the feeling of how to produce sounds. But the sound changes based on how it's combined. So let's take 2 very different sounds. The first part of my name, Jen, and the month, June. Notice how my mouth opens wider when I say Jen, Jen. And it stays in a more closed position when I say June, June, Jen, June. After practicing this for a period of time, when you're speaking, you'll feel the sounds in your mouth. And you'll know if a sound isn't pronounced simply by how it feels. For your exercise, choose a target sound you want to improve and practice using that sound in different word combinations for 1 minute. And now you have 5 simple yet powerful vocal exercises that only take 10 minutes per day. Do you want me to keep helping you improve your speaking skills? If you do, put yes, 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 put yes, 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 yes in the comments below. And of course, make sure you like this lesson, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And here's another lesson I know you'll love. Watch it now.